What up, world? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. It's the final day of the reveals. Some insane relics were just dropped and the entire relic tree is also available, so let's dive in. Let's take a hot minute to look at the relic tree. It looks like we have 8 tiers of relics to pick from, and some of these are just way too juicy not to pick in multiple tiers. This is going to be the hardest decision yet. Tier 1, we have a Power Miner, Lumberjack, and Animal Wrangler, but it looks like they screwed up the relic location because Lumberjack is a harpoon and Animal Wrangler is an axe. In Tier 2, we have Corner Cutter, Friendly Forager, and Dodgy Deals. Tier 3 is Clue Compass, Bank Heist, and Fairy's Flight. Tier 4, Golden God, Reloaded, and Equilibrium, that new relic. Tier 5 is Treasure Arbiter, Production Master, and Slayer Master. We finally get a look at the Tier 5 relics. Tier 6 is going to be a Total Recall and Banker's Note. Tier 7 is the Polly Pocket Pocket Kingdom, the Grimoire, and the Overgrown Relics. And the final relic, Tier 8, Specialist, Guardian, and Last Stand. I kind of have an idea what my path will be, but let's dive into the new ones first. The first relic that we're going to quickly go over is Equilibrium. Each time you gain experience, you gain additional experience equal to 10% of your current total level. Additional experience given by this relic is not multiplied by your league's XP multiplier. Your lowest skill will receive a 20% total level experience instead of 10%. There's also a little tip here. Equilibrium will trigger per instance of individual experience provided, even if that is multiple times in a single tick. The example given is Production Master will trigger Equilibrium 1 time per item processed. You know, it's pretty much the same as it was last league's, with just a little bit of small tweaks to the effects. In my opinion, this is the weakest relic of the Tier 4 relics. I can see it really helping out and pulling its weight in those beginning lower levels due to it being a Tier 4 relic and giving you all that bonus experience. However, I can't see it outperforming Reloaded or Golden God while paired with all the other combinations of relics in the late game. Remember, Leagues is 8 weeks long now, so this means we got lots of time, and I have a strong feeling most of us will be maxing an account quite quickly with these other relics in play. Then again, this could also help you get to that 25 mil skill or the 50 mil in all skills if you're planning on going that route. I personally am not going to go that route, and that is why I think this is the weakest T4 relic. The second relic we'll be looking at is the Polly Pocket Kingdom. Yep, we got Polly Pockets in old school RuneScape now, and those things truly are old school. This item allows full access to managing miscellaneous features from anywhere. Workers will work for 50% less coins, always have max appeal, produce twice as many resources, and accrue resources every hour instead of every day. This is what, like 45 to 50 times what the kingdom normally produces? That being said, since resources are produced every hour, you will probably be, paying your workers every hour. So that's like 37.5k every hour. So just make sure you guys keep your coffers up to stock while you aren't online. For some of you just wanting to pick Fremennik just for the kingdom, I guess you got a new region to choose now because you get to pick this relic. Not only that, but you can skip out on picking Overgrown for herbs or even Forager for herbs. The Polly Pocket is a beast of a relic. It is probably why it is coming in at a Tier 7 relic. If you do pick this one, you won't have any trouble getting any logs for your construction, herbs for potions, tons of raw food if you need that cooking experience, enough coal to keep the blast furnace going for an eternity, maples on maples for 200 million fletching experience and then some. And all those bird nests that you'll be getting lets you skip out on those hourly Fossil Island runs if you've already taken care of your hunter. This one is probably the strongest in this tier, especially if you are not picking Fremennik as a region. The utility this gives your account can allow you to pick other relics from the previous tiers and work your way up to it. I am still undecided if I want the Polly Pocket or the Grimoire right now. I don't know, the title Polly Pocket King sounds kind of cool. No? Just me? Alright, on to the next one then. The first Tier 5 relic that we will be looking at is Production Master. When doing the following production activities, all items are processed at once. Smelting ores, smithing bars, making cannonballs, fletching logs, stringing bows, making arrow shafts, and cutting bolt tips, making headless arrows, regular arrows, bolts, and darts, capped at 10 times the regular amount per action. That sucks, you can't do like a 10k stack at once. Cleaning herbs and making potions, which do not have a stackable secondary ingredient. I remember they didn't have that on the last one. Cooking food, making pies or pizzas, and making jugs of wine. Crafting leather, uncut gems, glass blowing, jewelry, pottery, battle staves, and spinning flax or wool. This is the one relic that I have always chosen due to its effect, plus it's always been like a tier 1, so you know. Quickly skilling and get back to the killing. The only problem I see with this relic is that it is a tier 5 now, and it competes with the Slayer and the Clue Scroll relic. I feel like this relic is a little out of its comfort zone being in that tier 5. I think trading this with probably Golden God may have been a better choice, but that's just my opinion, of course. Reloaded should stay where it is in a tier 4. I think this would have been a better pair up against that than Golden God. Tier 5 is going to be sometime into your second region pick probably, so it can benefit you there depending on the regions you have gone with and depending on your supplies that you have stacked up. You just can't mess around with the points you're going to be gaining from your Clue Scrolls or Slayer, and if you have Banker's Note planned as a pick for your relics, you know, this just becomes passive and less needed. That is why I believe this is probably the weakest tier 5 relic at this time. Another tier 5 relic we have is the Treasure Arbiter. You gain the following benefits to clue hunting. Impling jars and creatures that drop clue scrolls have a 1 in 15 chance of dropping them. Clue geodes, nests, and bottles are found at 10 times more often. All clue scrolls have the lowest number of steps possible for their tier. Emote, Fallow, and Charlie clue steps no longer have item requirements. Every clue scroll casket will roll the maximum amount of rewards it can give. It can roll the same item more than once. Beginner caskets will roll 3 times, easy 4 times, medium 5 times, hard 6, elite 6, master caskets 7 rolls. This bad boy is going to be helping you with all of your clue hunting needs. I love seeing the emote, Fallow, and Charlie steps no longer requiring those items. This is going to be so much better on my alt when I'm farming points. Speaking of farming points, the points generated from the Clue Hunter are less effective now. So normally where your task is like complete 50 hard clues, you'd get like 150 points or something. You might only get like 30 points now. So just keep that in mind if you are planning on picking this relic. And coming up in the rear with the gear, the best for last, it's the mother truckin' Slayer Master relic. You gain the following benefits to Slayer. Always on task for all eligible Slayer monsters, unlock all Slayer task perks for free, rune pouches, herb stacks, and looting bags in the Slayer point store are all free, skip and block tasks are free, and you gain 1,000 to 15,000 bonus Slayer experience for the first time you kill the 100th of each unique Slayer monster. Scaled by the monster Slayer level requirement, the experience stated is before the multipliers take effect. What more could you want? Well, there's quite a bit more, but nearly every monster you will be attacking will benefit from the Slayer helmet if you have Mortania unlocked. You will gain experience to Slayer, have a chance to spawn superiors on eligible monsters, the rev drops in the wild are going to be that much better, Larens and Brimstone keys from monsters if you have those regions unlocked, and those chests are packed full of resources. And eligibles, with the amount of Slayer that you're going to be doing passively, you can pretty much guarantee a few 99s just from the resource drops from these chests. Skipping and blocking tasks for free is an odd one. Skipping and blocking tasks for free may be an odd one for some, but we will have Slayer tasks as point tasks for the leagues. Like complete 100 Slayer tasks, maybe 30 points. And if you're always on task, you can never really get a task streak unless you go to the Slayer Master. So you'll still have to go to your Slayer Master and generate a task and complete it in order to register it towards your task streak, essentially for leagues. It's a bit of a pain and probably time consuming to some, but if you have the wild unlocked, it's just gonna be that much easier. I plan on just smacking out any task that it gives me first. That's probably gonna be the quickest way of doing it rather than sitting there and skipping to get one that you wanna do. Anyone picking this relic is going to be trucking through those Slayer levels extremely quickly. And you get yourself a little mini challenge by having to defeat 100 of every unique Slayer monster. Now it does scale with your Slayer level requirement, But for those picking areas such as the Fremenic or Mauritania, you have a nice healthy chunk of bonus experience just waiting for you. And that bonus experience scales with the experience multiplier. Now, there is a downside to the Slayer Relic. Yes, I know there is a downside. But how, you may ask? Well, there's going to be a lot of people who choose this relic, and that means a lot of places or areas are going to be packed full of people training or grinding out monster drops. So you better get there first. Holy moly, lemon cannoli, that was a boatload of information to get through. I don't have a clear plan on my relic picks yet. I will need the day to think about it. Well, actually, I do get a few days to plan on it. I unfortunately won't be able to put much time into leagues on release dates. I am quite busy with real life stuff, and that was planned far in advance before leagues was even mentioned. It's a good thing that mobile is out there, but that's only a few minutes here and there on the downtime. I don't think I'll have a video out before the release of leagues with my route and my relics picks, and if I do get to it, it'll probably just be the relic picks and it'll be a short one. What relics are you guys planning on picking? What regions are you going? Do you have a route planned out to get you where you want to be within like the first few hours? Or are you just gonna wing it and have fun? I'm going to be doing a little bit of both. I plan on getting to my first region pick throughout day one and then just take it from there as it comes. Mostly focusing on task specific goals and of course loads of mobile skilling. Anyways, enough rambling. Thank you all for joining me. If you did enjoy it, or if I helped you on deciding your relic picks, please give the video a massive thumbs up and subscribe for more content. It is always greatly appreciated. It is way past my bedtime and I gotta get up in 4 hours, and I hope I see you in the next one.